Namaste, good afternoon. This is Destiny here again this evening because I am bringing to you another great video. I am still talking about your healthy eating lifestyle, your healthy diet. And my subject tonight is sitting right there in front of you. Hi out there again. Tonight is November the 7th. 2019, and we're just going to jump into this video. I talked about last night about cleaning out your pantries and getting rid of all those unhealthy and junk foods that have all these bad things in it that is really damaging your body. And I just want to talk on this subject tonight because we have talked about the restaurants, how they're hyping up their sale pitch to pull people in because they know that a lot of people's going vegan and going into eating a more healthy diet. So they're putting out there now, they're making vegetarian and vegan meals. And I was just giving you warnings that everybody's not doing what they're saying. So watch the restaurants. There may be some catches just to pull you in so they can keep you as a customer, okay? But tonight I'm just going to get all into talking about carbs, because that is another topic that I did touch on last night. So I'm going to bring a clear understanding of carbs, because I hear people all the time, I don't think they have the total information, or they don't know the full understanding what carbohydrates really are. So let's jump into this video. Let's get started tonight. I am excited and I want to get this information to you. So this would be part one, because this is going to be a very limited video. I got a lot inside of me that I want to bring out and talk about, and I don't think I will be able to get all this out in this one setting. So be patient with me. I know sometimes they may get limited, but the information is valuable. Very valuable. You cannot put a price on this information, and I think it's be worth your time if you just stop, slow down, sit for a while, and just listen and give your full attention and focus, because the Creator, the divine source, your God, He is sending you information that you need to hear, or else you just wouldn't have stumbled upon this video. Because there is no incidents and there is no accidents. I'm getting started now. And I'm going to just pour out what I have in my heart. And I hope you're ready to receive this information. A clear understanding of carbs is what I'm talking about. So I'm telling you, if you ask a friend or a coworker about carbohydrates, and you could get an earful. I know people just turn me off when I have approached them about carbs and carbohydrates, and they went all up the ladder around the whole valley and around the whole world, and they start talking about things I don't know. But if you really actually would just ask a friend or even co-workers or family members, whoever, about carbohydrates, you're going to get an earful, and they will say they're bad for you. Some going to say, oh, they're fine, but only if you work out. Others may say, oh, well, they'll make you gain weight. Or they may tell you that low-carb diets are the only way to go. You know, I frown at a lot of those are their opinions. I mean, I'm like, okay, you know, okay. And that may be confused to a lot of people out there that's hearing this information right now. And you're not alone. I am confused, but I was more confused at the time when I put this question out there to people, and I got these answers thrown back at me. But there is a lot of legitimate information out there. Please don't just take the first thing that you hear that people are saying, especially if they're being negative and they're downing things. Hey, you got your own accountability within yourself to go out there and do your own research. So, and I'm saying it is a lot of legitimate information out there, but there is a lot of pseudoscience making it hard to translate any of it into a daily and healthy practices. People just hype things up. They get far beyond what it really is instead of seeking out the true significance and the true meaning of things. Everybody start pointing their views and what they think. Things can get really out of whack. And if you're listening to people just going on and just saying whatever they want to say because they don't have no information, they don't have no knowledge, they don't even have the whole truth, you can get really caught up in a lot of their stuff. But before we dive into separating myth from facts, then let's get a few of the basics out of the way, okay? And I want to say it like this. Carbohydrates are one of the main nutrients your body needs. And that people do not tell you. Most people I talk to about carbohydrates or carbs, oh, they'll tell you they are the worst thing. I gotta stay away from these carbs. I can't do this. They totally, absolutely dismiss anything I had to say. But they did not have the whole truth. And carbohydrates are one of the main nutrients your body needs, sometimes called micronutrients. And there are 3 micros. There are carbs, protein, and fat. And carbs are the most important source of energy for your body. And your body will break down carbs into glucose. And that's the sugar that's found in your blood. And your blood will help transport this fuel all over your body to provide you the energy that you need to do everything from running, from jumping, to sitting, to sleeping, whatever that you're doing. Your body is being transported and it's moving this fuel over your body to provide you the energy that you need to get everything that you need done. Now, unless your doctor or your healthcare provider or your holistic or coach or whatever has told you otherwise, carbs are part of our overall healthy diet. A lot of people are not going to tell you that, but you got to stop listening to people, do your own research, study, get information, get wisdom, get knowledge, but get an understanding for yourself. But I'm going to tell you that not all carbs are created equal. So it's important to learn which carbs are and how much that you should be eating. You just can't go out there and dismiss something and say, oh, well, you know, that is bad. And how you know it's bad? Have you ever really tried it? Have you ever really put it to test? Have you ever really sit down and really studied it out and measured it out and the amounts that you need or whatever? All you hear is going by what other people say. Oh, but I'm telling you tonight that not all carbs are created equal. So it's important for you to learn which carbs are and how much that you should be eating. That is very important. And then here are some of the most common carb misconceptions. And here is the science that's going to back up this truth. And I'm going to put it out there as the Creator has given it to me. You're going to get this tonight. It's up to you to receive it. Or you can just dismiss it and you can go on living the way that you live already, thinking that you know everything about carbs. But what are carbs? Carbohydrates. They are one of the 3 types of foods that gives your body energy. And the other 2 are proteins and fats. And together they provide the fuel that your body uses to build and repair itself. Carbs break down into glucose. I told you that was your sugar that you can use. Now, your body fuels. Your body runs on glucose. Your brain, in particular, needs it to work the way that it should. And carbohydrates are also almost an instant source of it. and your body can break down and use fat for some of the same needs, but not all of them. And I hope I'm trying to speak this slowly because I want you to really resonate or comprehend to what I'm saying, okay? Plus, let me tell you this. Fat that's used for a fuel makes compounds called ketones, and that can raise the level of acid in your blood, and that can be unhealthy over a long term, over a long period of process. So we have to be careful on that. And you have to really get information and understanding knowledge on that as well. So, there is also a workout prep. And because carbs are a source of energy, they can also keep you going while you exercise. And experts would recommend fueling up to 1 to 3 hours beforehand, before any physical exercise or before any kind of exercise, with a combination of carbs and proteins like oatmeal, peanut butter, nuts, raisins, and I'm sure there are probably a few others that I'm not naming right now because it's not on top of my head. But you want to have a full amount of nutrients as well. And the best quality carbs, I will tell you, it will be berries, vegetables, whole grains, which are packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants that are important for good health and for your well-being. And whole grains have fatty acids and magnesium and B vitamins and folate and zinc. Fruit and starchy vegetables also have some of those very same plus phytonutrients like flavonoids and carotenoids. And this will help you prevent diseases in your body. So, if you skip the carbs now, like people saying, oh, you got to get rid of the carbs, you got to throw them out, they're no good, they are bad. If you skip these carbs, then you're going to lose out on the nutrients too. So you got to have you gotta have knowledge. You gotta have understanding of what you're doing before just going out there and doing it and then missing things that you don't have the understanding about. Get to understand a topic of a subject before you go to missing it. Learn. Go out there and do study. Do intensive study. Now there are two types of carbs. I'm gonna tell you that one is simple carbs and the other one is complex carbs. Now, the simple carbs, you think of a table sugar as a simple carbs in pure form. They are very small molecules, which makes them especially easy for your body to break down and use, okay? But that means they raise your glucose levels, your blood sugar, really fast. And things that sweetens like candies and pastries and desserts, they are loaded with these kinds of carbs, these simple carbs. Then the second carb would be your complex carbs. String together a bunch of simple carbs and you get these larger molecules, and your body has to break them down into simple carbohydrates and then into glucose before you can even use them in your body. And this takes longer, which means that your blood sugar is going to go up more slowly, and they're less likely to be changed into fat. And these kind of carbs, your complex ones, include multigrain breads, and pastels, and beans, potatoes, and a whole lot of other different vegetables. But then there has to be a storage tank as well. So before your body turns leftover glucose from carbs into fat, it first has to store it. And what it can do, it's going to store it into your liver. So, I'm going to say that again because I don't know if you really understood what I just said. There has to be a storage tank. And before your body turns leftover glucose from carbs into fat, it stores what it can in your liver in the form of glycine. glycogen, yes, yes. And this keeps your body going between meals. But your liver can only keep it a day or just a little bit of a time, okay? That's what your liver is going to do. It can only keep it a day or so, and then it has to continue to go through another process. So, let's see. If you have too many carbs, let's talk about too many. If you overdo these carbs, then your blood sugar level can get too high, and that's not good at all. And this causes your blood to make more insulin, which tells your cells to save the extra glucose as fat. And that can be unhealthy if you're already carrying a few extra pounds on your body. And it can lead to diabetes and other related health issues. And that is not a good thing. But if you don't have enough of these carbs in your body, if there aren't enough carbs in your diet, then you could get constipated from lack of fiber and nutrients. And your body is also forced to use protein or fat for energy. And the proteins are the building blocks of the body. I'll repeat that. That is very important. You need to know that. Proteins are the building blocks of the body. So if you use them as fuel, then you may not have enough left to make your cells healthy or to keep them healthy. Okay? So, let's do it like this. Let's bring it to the center focus. Common sense then going to tell you there is a right amount of carbs that we have to use. And the number of carbs you need can depend on your gender, your size, how active you are, and that can change as you get older. But as a general rule, about half your daily calories, it should come from carbs. Carbs such as in fruits and vegetables and grains and beans. So just make sure to go with healthy complex carbs and don't overdo the simple ones. Now the low carb diets, like in theory, fewer carbs means less sugar. And that is your ketogenic diets. And they have shown to help some people lose weight and control their blood sugar in the short term. But these ketogenic diets also includes a lots of protein, and your body may need to use stored calcium to digest it. Plus, digesting lots of protein can be hard on your kidneys over time. So you're working against your body and the organs and the cells in your body. So also you need to eat more saturated fat to replace the carbs. And that can come down to be very unhealthy in the long term as well. So you got to watch that. And then the diabetes and carbs, whoever out there may be having a sickness or disease in their body that they call diabetes, let me tell you about that. If you have this disease, then you need to watch your carbs carefully because your body has trouble keeping your blood sugar at a safe level. And if you have too many carbs, then your body may need or may not be able to bring your blood sugar down quickly enough, which is going to put you at a level of danger. But if your blood sugar gets too high, a glass of juice or another simple carb might be just the thing to kick it back up again. And if you're diabetes, and like I said, if you do have diabetes, like I said, talk with your doctor or your healthcare provider or your holistic coach about the best way to be able to manage the carbs, okay? Just keep a check on your carbs in case that you have the other disease of diabetes, okay? So, we're going to talk about myths that people throw out there on carbs. So, carbs. The good, the bad, and the bogus. And I'm going to talk about a few of these myths. Myth number 1. Carbs will make you fat. Okay, here's the truth. It can be tempting to blame any undesirable health issue on a single item, be it sugar, red meat, or gluten. More recently, carbs have been the culprit, and they have been pointing the finger saying everything to poor health is because of carbs. They are bad for your body. But people like carbohydrates so much that they tend to overeat them. So that's what the problem comes in. So people gain weight not because the carbs are bad, but because they are having too much of them. And a lot of these cravings or inducing carbs are the kind that are high in refined sugar and they are low in fiber. So think like this: candy, crackers, and chips and cookies. People see carbs as snack foods, as being unhealthy foods. And unfortunately, nutrient-rich carbs like fruits and vegetables and grains are too often lumped in with the nutritional poor kind like soda and syrup. And we know they are loaded with sugar, high fructose corn syrup. So if you consume more calories than your body needs, whether or not it contains carbohydrates, then you can gain an unhealthy amount of weight. So, though it might be easy to blame carbs, it's probably best to look at everything that you're eating, from your breakfast to your lunch to your dinner to all the snacks and the desserts that you are throwing into your body. Myth number 2. All simple carbs are unhealthy. Here's the truth. Simple carbs get a bad rap because foods with refined sugar typically falls into this category. Like I said before, think of candy, soda, chips, and syrup. Simple carbohydrates have a high glycemic index and it can raise your blood sugar levels and it can become out of control. But not all of them are necessarily bad for you, and that's what I need people to understand. Healthy examples of refined simple carbs include good, healthy, raw vegetables and fruits and seeds and beans and things of that nature. And on the other hand, complex carbohydrates are absorbed and digested by the body more slowly. And then they have a lower glycemic index than simple carbohydrates, and they tend to raise the blood sugar levels the way simple index carbohydrates do. Okay? So the complex carbs include grains such as your burger, your quinoa, or some pastils, and starchy vegetables such as acorn, squash, corn, pumpkin. But focus on the complex carbs that are high in fiber, meaning they have 5 grams or more serving. And that gets to be a little bit too much. And that will keep you satisfied longer without having to consume too many calories. But it's not necessarily it is maybe not necessarily healthy or good. Without the fiber, it is more likely that you'll get hungry sooner than normally, and that you're going to feel like your hunger is not satisfied. And that's what it gives off your carbs a bad name. For instance, think about how much easier it might be to overeat, like a cheese pizza, which I don't go there, and I'm not suggesting that you do that because I'm telling you to stay away from dairies and all those different things. But I'm just using this example. Overeat cheese pizza versus a butternut squash stuffed with onions and peppers and all those different healthy vegetables, okay? Myth number 3. All pasta and bread are bad. I'm going to give you the truth. Instead of making spaghetti your enemy, just think about pairing the complex carbs with healthy foods like lean proteins, legumes, and vegetables. Because pasta is a perfect vehicle for cooking many foods. Plus, it's quick and easy to prepare. And hearty grains like quinoa and wild rice and brown rice and farro are all of a great basis for a healthy, satisfying meal. So just be sure to keep your portions in check. And a single serving of cooked pastels equals about 1 cup or the size of your fist. And the same rules apply to bread. So if you just can't go without a lunchtime sandwich, then make sure you're putting something like avocado or tomatoes or lettuce between 2 whole grain slices of bread. And as for that tempting bread basket on your table in the restaurants, stay away from it. I recommend that you skip it. But only because it may not be whole grain. And people tend to add lots of butter to every piece of bread they get their hands on. Especially if you're going to sit down to a pasta dinner and then you add in that bread basket and all that bread and all that bread and all that butter probably means that you're going to overload on carbs. Myth number 4, low carb diets are the only way to lose weight. Let me give you truth on that one. Listen up, you Atkins diet devotees out there. Though opting for a low carb, high protein diet might help you quickly shed a few pounds in the long run, dietitians say that it's almost always unsustainable. We need carbohydrates, period. We can't dismiss them and get away from it and think that we're going to live in a wholesome, healthy body. Our bodies rely on glucose to function ultimately, especially our brain. We need carbohydrates. And if you don't get enough of carbs, eventually your body will go into a state of ketosis, meaning it is burning fat instead of glucose for fuel. And there are other less desirable possible side effects of keeping your body in a state of ketosis. Chronic bad breath and constipation is going to flare up, and you're going to know that your body is out of whack. Instead of going cold turkey with carbs, guys, listen, focus on smaller portion sizes, and stop chowing down on high fiber, complex carbohydrates that will help you to feel fuller and longer. I'm telling you, just don't go cold turkey with carbs. Focus, I'm serious, focus on smaller portion sizes and chowing down on high fiber, complex carbohydrates. It will help you to feel fuller and you will feel more satisfied longer. And myth number 5, less than half of your diet should be carbs. Wrong again. Here's the truth. While everyone's nutrition needs are different, the current acceptable macronutrient distribution range for carbohydrates is 45 to 65% of your total daily calorie intake. And since daily calorie needs can vary, thinking about carbs as a percentage of your daily intake as a total, it is a good strategy to do that. And I'm taking for example, a 20-year-old woman eating 1,800 calories per day should aim for at least 810 to 1,170 of those calories, or 202 to 292 grams to come from carbohydrates. And yes, that percentage stays the same even if you're active. And a 20-year-old who exercises 3 times or 4 times per week for 1 hour or less per session does not need to adjust his or her carbohydrate intake. Even if you work out, or even your workouts are long and strenuous, like 15-mile training runs, you may need to increase your overall calorie needs. But the percentage of carbohydrates consumed should stay the same. But how to do grams and how to do percentages, it will translate into the average meal that you're intaking. And for that, you need to pay attention to how many grams of carbohydrates are in each serving of a particular food. You got to pay attention. So the takeaway is this. Like so much of nutrition, there is like this Goldilocks approach to carbs. Not too much, not too little, or they're just right kind. And you can yield to those great results. With that right balance, I mean, you will have the energy that you need for your fave, your activities, and none of these things will be downsized. So all you got to do is go out there and study, read and find out what carbohydrates are. Learn about how much that your body can intake and what amount. And learn about different carbs according to your age, your gender, and your activity and the things that you're doing. People, you fall into too many of hearsay things, and you listen to too many people with the wrong information. All these myths, we just debunked the myths, and we told you the truth. Learn the truth. Know your body. And you go out there and you learn and you study about carbs, study about carbohydrates. You go and you talk to someone who is an expert and experienced nutritionist that can tell you more about carbs that is best for your intake. And then you get the information, you get the wisdom, you get the knowledge, and you definitely got to get the understanding. Then you'll know how to be able to use carbs that will be healthy for your body. So on that further note, guys, I did what I came here to do again. This is Destiny. Comment. You can put your comments in the comment box below. You can share some things that you may have to share with me about your carbs intakes or things that you have done, your diet. Just hit me up. Guys, I'm done. I'll see you at the next video. I think I will complete this and will not be a part 2 of this video. This is about carbs, a clear understanding of carbs. Guys, on this further note, I am out of here. I love you guys. Have an awesome and a great day. And I hope this video brought clarity and more understanding about carbs. See you at the next video. Again, this is Destiny. I love you guys. I love for all the things that you do to support my channel and to support me. I'm saying good night. Have a wonderful, fantastic, great evening. Go and check your cabinet and you find carbs and you get an understanding about exactly what you're putting in your body. Namaste and good night. I love you guys so much. You are very important and very special to me. Destiny saying good night and namaste.